and especially to you, SS Sniper Wolf. In a recent video, you said that you lack empathy, and you indicated that you thought that there was maybe something wrong with you for that. So that's very interesting, because the fact that you lack empathy is not good, but the fact that you seem to know that there's something not okay with that gives us hope that maybe you can change. Look, you were born vegan. I know you're thinking to yourself, no, I wasn't. But think about it honestly. If you're the kind of person who never used to hurt animals when you were younger and were drawn to them, dogs, cats, any animal that you saw in a petting zoo, and you just thought, wow, I just want to be close to that dog or that cat or that squirrel, or maybe it was a goat or a lamb, and you could see yourself in them. Usually babies, when they're 1, 2, and 3 years old, they love animals. They want to be close to them and they just want to hug them and cuddle them. So what I'm trying to help you to do is tap back into that person that you were a long time ago. I want to introduce you to Earthling Ed. You can find him on YouTube. And he is somebody who is an animal defender, such as myself. And because he explains something here really well, I thought I would let you listen to his presentation. And hopefully you and your audience can connect a little bit more to the animals. Let's have a listen.
Animals wouldn't even be alive if we didn't eat them. They should be grateful to us for giving them an experience of life in the first place. This is an excuse that we hear a lot as vegans, so let's apply that logic to a human context first. Should a child who's born into an abusive family where they are beaten by their parents, neglected, and eventually killed by their parents be grateful for the fact that their parents gave them an experience of life in the first place? No. Should a child who's born in Syria, who witnesses parents being killed in the civil war, who tries to flee into Europe by boat but then drowns in the boat, be grateful for the fact that they had an experience of life in the first place? What about a woman who is brought up in a system of human trafficking, who never knows freedom and is put into a system of prostitution her entire life? Should she be grateful to her captors for giving her that experience to live? Would we as individuals be grateful for the chance to live an experience of life if it was in those situations and in those environments? Now let's apply that logic to a situation where it's non-human animals being abused. If I breed dogs into existence just so I can mutilate them and kill them, does that make me a good person because I've given those dogs an experience of life? What about cats? Let's say I breed cats into existence. I keep them in metal boxes so small they can't even turn around. I mutilate them, enslave them, deny them access to fresh air and sunlight, and then eventually I hang them upside down and cut their throat. Am I a morally righteous person? Am I a good person for doing that because I gave those cats an experience of life that they wouldn't have had otherwise? All we have to do is put the animals that we love in the situations of the animals that we eat, to understand that their life is not something they should be grateful for, and we are not good people for putting them in that situation merely because they then get to experience life. All we have to use is empathy to understand that this is not a life that an animal should live. This is not a life that any living, conscious, sentient being should be subjected to. We are not morally righteous or good people for bringing them up in an environment that causes so much suffering and pain. Now the problem with this excuse is that it is only used by people who are living a comfortable life, by people who will never know the pain and fear of the animals they're saying should be grateful.
SS Sniper Wolf, you are a multi-millionaire. You live a comfortable life. Perhaps you are just too detached, far too detached from the rest of us and even all of your viewers. And so you really don't understand what the animals are going through. But if you have a little place in your heart that's open, I invite you to go to an animal sanctuary where these animals have been saved and just look into the eyes of the pigs and the chickens and the cows and really just actually take the time to connect with them, and you'll see that they're very much like us. They feel joy like us. When they are free to be outside, they run around, they enjoy moving their bodies and feeling the sun on their cheeks. And if they're birds, they want to open their wings and they just want to be themselves. Factory farmed animals never get to do these things. And all animals, in fact, should not be our slaves. We shouldn't be racist towards them. Now, I say the word racist, and you're probably thinking to yourself, well, that doesn't apply because they're not a different race. But I ask you this, what is the difference? You say one is animals and one is humans, but what is the difference? What is the trait that makes us think that we can point to them and say, your body belongs to me? We simply don't have a right to do that.
So I ask you, what if it was you in a situation where you were being forcibly impregnated?
That is what they do. SS Sniper Wolf, I don't think that you would want somebody to pin you down and to force themselves in you, force you to be pregnant against your will. This is the dairy industry. Look at it. Really imagine that this was you or somebody that you love. These animals don't want this to happen to them in the same way that you wouldn't want it happen to you. And it's wrong of us to do this. Animals are here on the planet with us, not for us. They are not objects to be used by us.
Where your babies were being taken away.
Have a look at that. This is what they do in the dairy industry. They take the babies away from their mothers. The reason that they do that is because they want the milk for themselves. They want to make milk into ice cream and into cheese. And these babies are considered to be in the way. So they drag them away and murder them, slit their throats. Are you really okay with that, SS Sniper Wolf? Is this really something that you want to condone? Or does something here feel just wrong, just really wrong? And if it doesn't feel wrong, then maybe you are a tiny minority of the people on this planet who are psychopaths. Any mothers who are watching, if you saw somebody taking your baby away like this, how would you feel? Anyone who has a brother or a sister and you saw your younger brother or sister who is just born being dragged away, or anyone in your life for that matter, we all know that mothers and their babies belong together. We shouldn't be tearing them apart. And we as a species have no right to take the milk from another species. First of all, if we honestly want milk, Leah, if you honestly want some milk, go and take it from your mother. Just walk up to her and say, Mom, I'd like some milk, please, and see how she reacts. Because you're not supposed to be having milk past the age of infancy. But if you really think that you need milk, then don't go and steal it from somebody else's baby. It's just wrong.
From you, where you were being exploited day in, day out.
How would you like it if somebody you loved or you yourself, SS Sniper Wolf, were tied down like this, put in a stall, you can't even turn around, and somebody is sexually assaulting you, mutilating you by shoving these things on you and stealing your milk? Cows do not want to give milk to humans. Their milk is meant for their babies. We have no right to grab them and force them to be pregnant, to be tied down, to be handled in this way. You wouldn't want it done to you, so don't do it to other animals.
Where fear and pain was an emotion that you felt on a consistent basis, would you be grateful? Would you be grateful to those that are inflicting their pain and suffering upon you? What if it was you in that slaughterhouse truck, or you in that slaughterhouse with the bolt gun against your head or the knife against?
When I see that image,
would you be grateful? Would you be grateful to those that are inflicting their pain and suffering upon you? What if it was you in that slaughterhouse truck, or you?
When I see that image of these poor innocent animals just finally getting on a truck after a lifetime of hell and thinking that maybe they're going to somewhere good, just like when your dog gets in a car and thinks, well, maybe I'm going somewhere good, and then we betray them. When I see this image, it breaks my heart.
You in that slaughterhouse with the bolt gun against your head.
How about this one, SS Sniper Wolf? He's just a baby. He's just a baby. It's the same as a puppy. He's just born into this world, and then we betray him by murdering him and then taking off his skin and turning it into boots, a jacket, a coat. How can we do this to them? Leah, surely you must know that this is wrong. And if Leah doesn't know, then surely her audience must know this is wrong. Don't do it. Stop and become vegan. Look, here's what it's like for vegans in this world. Being vegan is like trying to rescue drowning animals, desperately pulling them out of the water, one by one, and having your family, friends, and everyone around you throwing them back in. That's what it's like. That's what it's like for us to know that this goes on, that people pay others to hurt these innocent animals. Look, being vegan is simply about doing the best that you can all the time. And SS Sniper Wolf, you have a huge audience of more than 30 million people. All you need to do is say, that vegan teacher was right. We should be trying to hurt animals less. And all you have to do as SS Sniper Wolf is simply say, you know what? I'm going to try vegan foods more often. I'm going to look up other recipes. I'm going to cut down on eating animals, and I will become vegan by, and then name a date. And then stick to it. Now, many of my viewers are becoming vegan every single day, and I'm so proud of you guys. And I have a Happy Vegan Declaration Day song for you guys, song and a card for you guys. And I'm so proud of you. But the rest of you who aren't there yet, keep watching.
Head or the knife against your throat? Would you be grateful for that experience of life? Now, I say to anyone who truly believes that animals should be grateful, go to a slaughterhouse, look an animal in the eye as they're being transported inside, or look an animal in the eye as they're about to be put in a gas chamber or about to be taken to the kill floor. Look them in the eye and tell them that they should be grateful to you for giving them their experience of life. The reality is the life that these animals are given is not a life at all. These animals exist in an eternal hell, and we are the devil, the perpetrators that are inflicting constant cruelty and suffering upon them.
He's right. Humans are like the devil. The way that we treat the billions of animals on this planet is deplorable. They live in Holocaust-like conditions. The way that the Nazis treated the Jews was wrong, and it was evil, and everybody knows it. But the Holocaust never ended for the animals. They are still being put in gas chambers, still being branded, still being confined, murdered, for having committed no crime.
In their eyes, all they want is to be free, truly free like we do. All they want is to live out their life and do the things that they want to do that come natural to them.
Look how happy they are. They don't own any objects. They don't need millions of dollars like you, SS Sniper Wolf. They just want their freedom. Is that too much to ask? Is it really too hard for you to simply choose another option rather than to eat the flesh of these innocent animals?
To spend time with their families, to spend time outside doing the things that they truly want to do. These are the basic fundamental rights.
Look at them. Look at her. She doesn't want any objects. She doesn't want anything. She just wants to keep her body autonomy. She just wants a little bit of freedom, some grass to run on. And look, you can tell that she's just had babies. She's a mom. She wants to take care of her babies and run around with them and teach them how to dig their nose into the ground and roll around in the dirt. Let them live, Leah. Let them live.
That we want for ourselves. So what right do we have to take them away from other animals who also experience pain, suffering and fear? The only time that these animals will feel truly grateful is when their life is over and they will no longer have to feel the pain and the suffering they've experienced their entire lives. The only time these animals will be grateful is when they know they will never have to look into the eyes of the species that has oppressed them their entire lives. Because we wouldn't want to have the experience of life these animals do, and because we would never wish it upon ourselves or indeed onto our companion animals, we can't morally justify killing and eating animals with the excuse that they should be grateful, because we would never be grateful, and we would never be grateful if our companion animals were subjected to the same pain, fear and suffering the animals that we eat are.
He's absolutely right. So, Leah, I hope this has helped you to understand why it's important to start becoming vegan. For everybody else who is already vegan, I am so proud of you. For those of you who are a little bit curious and want to learn a bit more, there's a subscribe button below. Do you see it? You can subscribe and press the notification bell and help us get these animals out of hell. Thanks so much. Coming up on screen are going to be a bunch of other videos. If you haven't yet seen them, go ahead and click on them. I have done other videos about SS Sniper Wolf. Sometimes I'm really tough with her. Sometimes I just try to appeal to her human side, if there is a human side, which I hope there is. And other times I actually break down and cry because it just makes me so sad that someone who has 30 million followers continues to endorse so much suffering. And I'm really hoping that she's going to change. If you guys know SS Sniper Wolf, if you're a friend of hers, please encourage her to go to, I have it signed here somewhere, I don't know where it went. Anyway, it's called howdoigovegan.com. That's a place that here it is. You can go there for help. Howdoigovegan.com. Okay, all the questions that you have are there. All the answers are there. There's recipes and all kinds of stuff. And there's way more than that. But that's just what I'm telling you about today. Thanks everyone for being here, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now. Do 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 do.